You'd have to say almost a bit of a brave call from Virat Kohli, because it's something that will impact batsmen more than it will bowlers, Michael. So, but it makes logical sense. I mean, we've lived with it for a while, but when it comes to those marginal decisions, hit the stumps, whether by 30%, 40%, or 80%, the bails will still fall.
Yeah, I kind of get that, but I like it as it is. I don't think Virat's quite getting that right, because you've got to understand that technology was brought in to get rid of the howler, to get rid of that absolute stinking decision. And I think it's done that. The skill of DRS, and a lot of people don't realise, it's the skill of the captain and the teams to review what they feel is not quite right. So if you feel that as a team and as a decision maker out in the middle, the umpire's got it wrong, you've got your reviews to kind of go, thank you very much, we'll have a look upstairs. Of course, the umpire's calls in favour of the decision on the field, but we must always remember that DRS was brought in to get rid of that absolute stinking decision, and that's exactly what it's done. Delighted to hear that the ICC will overturn the soft signal. So as we saw with that David Milan catch, the soft signal from 150 yards away was out. No idea how you can do that. And then the third umpire had no option but to give that out because there wasn't enough evidence to overturn it. So I'm happy with that. But in terms of the umpire's call, I completely get where there's confusion. For a cricket fan, it's quite hard to understand. But for a non-cricket fan to suddenly see that a ball's hitting the stumps, but it's an umpire's call, it's been given not out on the field, so it's going to continue to be not out. But it's hitting the stumps, it's going to be out. Taking the ball. I completely get that. Very, very difficult to get a perfect situation in all situations. I think DRS works at the minute. I think the best teams and the best captains who use it well and have the best keepers who understand the LBW law. I think some of these keepers behind the stick actually don't understand the LBW law with some of the reviews that they go to the third umpire with. But those that use it well and understand it the best, and accepts it, I think it's a very, very fair system, but it is confusing at times. I'll give him that.
Yeah, interesting. I think we should get to a point statistically where not just the captains in the fielding side, we should also have a tick box in terms of how many bowlers insist that the reviews should be taken and how many keepers support them and how often they were right and how often they were wrong. There's an exercise for us over the next 12 months. But Joy, coming back to umpire's call, we leave soft signal as it is. I don't think there's any debate there. What's your interpretation of umpire's call as it is right now?
See, fortunate enough, both you and I, Gautam, have spent a lot of time in the broadcasting side of things. And one of the things that we do know is that, we've done extensive work with Hawkeye. That Hawkeye is, at the end of the day, it's a technology, but it's not 100% technology. No technology can be 100% in terms of, following it. So on this point, I tend to go with Michael, that the point of it is very simple. If the umpire feels that it's a marginal decision, and this is what he thought of this marginal decision, I think we should go with him, because the problem of it is, if you put up your hands, it's not as if technology is 100% there either. Technology today is not where, even now, it still can't tell you exactly if it hit. If technology was 100%, you wouldn't need that umpire out there. So it's not. So let's face it, it's not, the umpire is not just there because he's, ornamental and he's value to the game in terms of tradition and all that. He's there because there's some things that can't always be judged. So I'm with Michael on this. The problem is the way it's shown on television makes it very difficult for the average spectator to accept. And I think you've got to do something there. Either you've got to educate him better, you've got to find a way of showing it, which makes it, which obscures it and says, okay, this is a doubtful call. So this part of it is, it's like a fog. It's like a fog of war. It's grey. But we can't make out exactly what's happened under these circumstances. I feel that's the only way to tackle it.